We Wear the Mask by Laurence Dunbar. Before we read the poem, I just wanted to give you a little background information. So Dunbar is an African-American poet who wrote this poem between 1895 and 1896. In his poem, he discusses what it is like to be a Black person, so an African-American person in America following the Civil War. Society is very prejudiced to Black people during this time, even still to this day now to a certain extent. Dunbar felt the effects of racism and discrimination. He discusses the feeling of pain and the feeling of being oppressed and how he felt the need to wear a mask and always hide who he truly was. Dunbar makes a comparison between surviving the pain of oppression and wearing a mask to hide his suffering. Black people were forced to act like everything was fine when things were very much not fine. Black people had to hide behind this so-called mask of being happy when really they were being oppressed and controlled. Black people felt anger and frustration for the lack of equality and poor treatment from the white people. As just discussed, a major theme is obviously the idea of racism and the idea of what's reality and what is true. So these Black people were forced to essentially hide behind a mask and act like things were fine when things were very far from not okay. We Wear the Mask by Laurence Dunbar. We wear the mask that grins and lies. It hides our cheeks and shades our eyes. This debt we pay to human guile. With torn and bleeding hearts we smile, and mouth with mirrored, subtle ties. Why should the world be overwise in counting all our tears and sighs? Nay, let them only see us while we wear the mask. We smile, but, O great Christ, our cries to thee from tortured souls arise. We sing, but oh, the clay is vile beneath our feet and long the mile. But let the world dream otherwise. We wear the mask. So your assignment for this poem is to deeply reflect on the poem as well as any of the other literature we have read so far in this course. And you need to create a minimum one-page response with at least 3 paragraphs looking at some of the other texts as well as this text about how people in society do wear masks to hide their true identity. In your response, it would also be very beneficial if you commented on your own personal experiences. Do you feel like you sometimes have to wear a mask? Obviously, due to COVID right now, we are all actually wearing masks most of the time. But I want you to think beyond just the obvious wearing a tangible mask on our face and think, do you ever feel like you sometimes just need to hide and put on, say, a front to other people because maybe you think they're going to judge you or not treat you equal or maybe create a bias towards you? So I want you to comment on your own personal experiences on whether or not you have felt like you've ever needed to wear a mask to hide who you truly are. And then also comment on the text, We Wear the Mask by Dunbar, and then any of the other texts we have looked at so far. Good luck.